It's responsive. Alex, good morning. Mary Cheatham, good morning. Alex didn't get the blue stripe memo today.
I did, but I didn't get the blue. I got the blue, so
That's
I'm
true.
halfway there.
I love that. We also need something red because we're
Oh,
day after 4th of July and get.
Yes.
good point. I'm like looking around to
Anything?
see.
I know.
I don't think I have anything either.
We
I have
don't.
a red marker.
Oh, there. Perfect.
There we go.
We're so patriotic.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And Alex, did you have a nice 4th?
I did. It was really nice. Just relaxed with the family, saw some fireworks. It was really nice.
So glad.
Yay.
I'm so glad.
I know. Now, Mary Cheatham, I just want to dive into it because I
I
have
am
so
too.
many questions
I know,
for
I do too.
Alex.
Me
And
too.
if you want to go ahead and introduce her, we can get the ball rolling.
Yes, you guys. So we are really excited to introduce you to Alex Stark. So Alex is an executive coach. She is a burnout coach. Wait for it. And she also is a licensed therapist. And Alex also has been here with her family for about a year. So she is now a Carter Rican.
Woohoo.
So we're so excited that we've got Alex living here in Carteret County with us. I mean, just to have this resource right in our back door. I know, Alex, that you, of course, are able to do virtual coaching as well, but we're so excited that you're here in Carteret County, and we can't wait to dive in because a burnout coach is something that I'm really unfamiliar with and
Yeah.
immediately interested in.
Yes, absolutely. So,
Yes.
Alex, before we dive into the services and everything that you provide, will you give everyone a little background of kind of how you got here today?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, here in Carteret, I love it. My family and I have been here about a year, and it's just we're here full time, and it's just the most amazing place. I feel very lucky to live here. I've been a licensed there. I started off as a licensed therapist about 15 years ago. So when I was about 10, I got licensed, and then did kind of rolled that into an executive leadership role in a nonprofit where I worked with advocacy for girls and young women for about 10 years. After that, I decided after having two kids pretty much back to back, I kind of wanted to get out of a little bit of that kind of grind and started a psychotherapy private practice, which is now kind of morphed into a multi-state private practice where I do virtual work and started working with a lot of high achieving women. So women who are either owners of their own businesses or in leadership roles. And they were coming into therapy thinking that they had what they thought at the time was a mental health concern. But after a lot of uncovery and really working with them, figuring out that that wasn't it. They had burnout, professional burnout. So kind of, that work-life balance wasn't there. The boundaries weren't there. They were kind of living to work instead of working to live and just not have, really stressed out, exhausted, doing many of the tasks that they did every day to keep their businesses going and also be a good parent, a good mom, a good partner, a wife, a sister, a friend, a community organizer. So doing all of those things and just feeling really stressed. And so then I started focusing on burnout as a different coaching piece. So working not with the people who therapy is a great tool and a lot of people love it and need it, but not everybody needs therapy. Not everybody wants therapy. So it's kind of like a gap in service of being able to support a woman who needs support in her business life, but also her personal life. So I transitioned, well, still doing both, but really transitioned into that space of the executive coaching and burnout coaching as a combined role to help and support women in that space.
That's so interesting. Okay, so let's say that I am coming to you as a potential client, right?
Mhm.
So how do you determine whether I need executive coaching or burnout coaching, or is it a combination of the two?
So typically it's a combination.
Got
So
it.
I find that usually there isn't one without, I mean, if you've ever met an executive that doesn't have a little bit of burnout, I'd like to meet them and talk to
Yeah.
them and so they can teach me. But usually I find that it is a little bit of both happening.
Interesting.
That's so interesting.
So what you're saying, just so I'm clear, is that you can have a successful work life and a really great home life, whether that's being a parent, a good spouse, that can coexist, is what you're saying.
Yes, that is my platform.
Okay.
You should have both.
Sure.
You can have a really successful, vibrant career as a woman and have a really beautiful home life and not have to choose and also not feel like you have to burn yourself out doing either of those
Sure.
things. So that's my
Goosebumps.
mission.
Wow.
I know
It
it's
exists.
so good. Okay, so then my next question for you, Alex, is so is the majority of the work that you do, is it mindset or is it tactical? Like, is it strategies to come up with reorganization of time and is it strategic, or is it like a mindset reset?
And that's a super good question. It's both.
Okay.
Because I found at first that a lot of the executive coaching programs were more just leadership kind of business based. And then a lot of the more personal development programs were more mindset, but it really has to be both. We kind of start the foundation with the mindset work, the core values, intentions, goals, things like that. And then once that's built, because a lot of people never look into that. What are your core values? No one really ever thinks about that. And then we kind of strategically do skill-based things, decision-making, boundaries, assertive communication, more tangible and tactical things after the foundation is set at the bottom.
So cool. That's so interesting. And so typically when you start working with somebody, I mean, is it weekly? I'm sure it varies, but I'm just saying, I guess if you were to say like, what is your most typical client relationship and what does that trajectory look like? What is that?
Typically, a coaching and engagement could be either 6 to 12 months, typically once every other week, and then support in between with email, call, text, whatever the person prefers. And then I do have a group program that I run specifically for moms who are in executive leadership or owners of their own businesses, and that meets twice a week. And it's all with other women from around the country who are all in executive leadership roles. And that's kind of, or I work with also organizations and do presentations, speaking engagements and things like that.
Cool. So the
That is
three
so
things,
cool.
the three kind of executive coaching programs, you have one-on-one, you have, groups, moms, and then you have, larger organizations.
Yes.
And do you do retreats of some sort, or do you do more like long-term partnerships with
both. It's totally dependent on what the organization needs. I'm big on, there's no off the shelf thing. So every person I work with is very it's a custom program. It's a custom talk. It's a custom, whatever they need, because every organization, I can't come in there and say, this is what you need.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of have this process where they say, hey, this is what our team is struggling with, or this is what, this is the burnout we're seeing in the team, or we're kind of worried that our team is getting to that space. And then I'll come in and we'll talk about, well, here's the things that we can do. And then I'll design something custom.
So cool.
That
This
is really
so
cool.
interesting.
And the thing that I think is really neat about all of it too, is that you, Alex, have that background from, a leadership and executive position. You are a mom, like you've been all of these things and are all of these things, and you're able to help others from your own experience. And I think that that's one of the biggest forms of credibility ever, is like from experience, what you did for yourself, and you're able to, teach that formula to other people. I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I hear a lot of women say like, well, this is just how it is. Or this is what I signed up for, or I'm a business owner. Of course I'm burnt out. Or I'm a mom and a wife and I have this business and I'm in leadership. So this is kind of what I signed up for, or this is, of course, it's the way it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of that narrative happening that this is just what it is. So if you want to be successful, then you have to feel like this. Or you want to be a mom and have a business, or you want to be a partner. And well, then this is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of that one to be like, wait. No. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, let me show you how to do it.
So it sounds like that one of the first things you have to do with people is kind of deprogram them from that way of thinking, and then help them build a new foundation that is a cleaner look at things. So let's say just, if people are listening to this and this is resonating with them, right? And they're, certainly we want them to reach out to you and get on your schedule, which I totally want to do. What are there any tips that are things that you often share, or anything that you would encourage people to think about? Just any knowledge that you want to share with people who are watching this episode?
Yes, I have all the tips. But I have all the tips.
Great.
I like to really first start, as far as it's like a tangible strategy, we'll definitely be doing a calendar audit. And what that looks like is going through your entire calendar, personal and professional, and either eliminating things that need to be eliminated, making your meetings 45 minutes instead of 60 minutes, and restructuring things so that they're reoccurring instead of like piecing things together, so that you could look at a quarter of your calendar and be like, this is what I have going on all quarter, instead of like having to piece things together.
Tangible. Love it.
I love the tangible. Also, boundaries are huge. The only people who benefit from you not having boundaries are the people who take advantage of the situation when you don't have boundaries, right? So boundaries even with kids. Sometimes we think boundaries are just with work, but I'm talking boundaries with friends, with community organizations, with board directorships, with your spouse, with your dog. Is your dog waking you up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go outside? Let's talk about boundaries with the dog.
Yeah, that affects you.
Right. So it's kind of restructuring how available we are to the world.
What's so funny is seriously, today I was having a conversation early this morning with somebody and laughing, talking about how the word available is a word that I used all when my kids were growing up. I'll say that. bless them, they're still growing out. They're not, but anyway, when they were really
Aw.
little, where, because
Uh-huh.
sometimes, especially if you're a mom and you're working from home or you've got, where I'd be sitting here and I'd be physically present, but they learned to say, "Are you available?" Because sometimes I'd be like, it's just because I'm not available.
Like 5-year-old
I
Walter.
realize, exactly. I
Yeah.
realize that I'm sitting here and it looks like that I can totally go and
Yeah.
dive into whatever you want me to dive into, but I need 5 minutes and then I'll be available. But so
Yeah.
I think that's such an interesting, I think the word available is just so fascinating as it relates to
Mhm.
capacity.
Yes. And a lot of times we find ourselves kind of like physically there, but
Yes.
mentally, emotionally, we're on a different level.
Mhm.
And a lot of times that's what hear from a lot of women, like they just feel disconnected. Like
Yeah.
they're sitting in the living room with their family and their family's watching a movie and they are on another planet. They're thinking about something else. They're answering emails, they're answering text messages. They're just feeling like they're scheduling, they're coordinating, they're managing the home, they're managing their business, and it feels like they can just kind of get it in where they have to get it in, and so that they feel like disconnected from their own families sometimes.
That makes so much sense because I guess really, I guess if I had to articulate kind of what I want and maybe what everybody wants is just whenever you're somewhere to be present and available to where you are and to whatever's unfolding around you at
Mhm.
that time, right?
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
not be caught somewhere else.
Right, 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 and that's doable, possible.
Absolutely. And just before we get into where people can find you and everything like that, Mary Cheatham, before we hopped on Zoom today, she was like, there was one line on your website at the end of it, and it just like kind of tied everything up with a bow. And it was, your mind is worth it. So
Mhm.
like, I don't know, you
Yeah, you guys, you have to check out Alex's
it's
website.
so
It's
good.
so
It's
good.
Oh,
It's
thank
excellent.
you.
There's so many things throughout it that I found like really inviting and invigorating and things that I thought were just kind of invitations to think about things
Yeah.
differently and engage. Yeah. So, but I love that at the bottom that it says, your mind is
Thank
worth
you.
it because
And
golly,
it is. You only
right?
have one.
Right.
It's the only one you have. You might
Right.
as well invest in it.
That's exactly right. So I
And
love that.
and you can have balance between the two, I think is
Yes.
a big takeaway, is you don't have to
Yes.
choose one or the other. So I think
You
that's
can, and you should, and nobody. I always say like when on your deathbed, no one's going to say, "Oh, she was employee of the month." They're going to say she was a great mom, a great wife, a great partner, a great community person, a great, she gave herself to, whatever. It's really not, let's work and let's have successful careers and businesses and also learn how to balance it all.
It's really
I've had
good.
goosebumps this whole conversation.
I know. Yeah. I feel very inspired.
So guys, you can find Alex on Facebook at Alex Stark Coaching, on Instagram at Talk to Alex Stark. Is that it?
Mhm,
To
mhm.
Alex Stark. And then her website is alexstarkcoaching.com. All of them are fantastic. You are so active on
Thank
social
you.
media. I'm obsessed. And your website is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
We're just so lucky that you're here in Carteret County. However, you service all over the world. Lots of
Yep,
virtual things. So
yep,
that's really
yep.
great.
Lots of virtual things. Well, in person and virtual. But
I
yes,
love
I'm
that.
here in Carteret.
Accessibility for
Yeah.
all.
Yes.
That's so
Yes,
great. And we'll
absolutely.
drop those handles in
Okay.
the comment section. Yeah, so people can contact you and can follow along.
Great.
And
Thank
Lindsay, would you
you.
like to ask Alex our final
Yes.
question?
Alex, what is saving your life right now?
Living by the beach is
Yay.
saving my life. It is the best. It's just go as much as I possibly can, at least a couple times a week.
Do you go just drive over and go for walks?
Yeah, I do. And my kids love it. And we go every weekend or I'll just go by myself and walk.
That's amazing. Sometimes people who have lived here for a while, I mean, a year is a good amount of time under your belt too. You forget you live at the beach. You forget
I
to take advantage
know.
of that. So I
I
think
know.
intentionally doing that is so important. So
No, it is. It's
a
really
good
part of my whole routine. So I love it.
Great one. That's
it.
really good. Well,
Amazing.
Alex, we are very happy that you live by the beach and can't wait to connect further. And I'm very excited about a lot of what you've had to share with us and excited to engage in some of these strategies. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
See you
Thanks,
soon,
Alex.
Alex.
Bye. See you soon.
Oh my gosh, that was so fascinating.
I know. I want to go continue our conversation, like invite her over for coffee or something.
Yes.
Yeah, she was wonderful. And like she followed me on Instagram and I was like, huh, I didn't realize she had relocated to Moorhead because her profile is very professional, all that stuff, talking about her services. And she had posted that she was here doing kind of a organization retreat. And so I messaged her and was like, hi, would you like to be on Coffee with MC? Here's what Coffee with MC is. Very, very casual.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to. And we just, essentially met her through a computer screen, but I can see exciting future ahead
Man,
with
I know.
Alex.
Really impressive and super interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Meg, what's saving your life?
The thing that's saving my life, let me think. I had one on the way over here.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'll go.
Okay.
I think what's saving my life is that I really do always kind of love 4th of July week and
Mm.
everything that comes along with it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? I love to have an opportunity to slow down a little bit and spend the day with friends and family. And so that was really special yesterday. And then I also kind of love that it was on a Thursday because now, it's only Friday, a 4th of July weekend.
That's
And
true.
it feels, I know.
That's
I know.
true.
Yeah. And I also think it's so interesting, at the 4th, it kind of splits summer down the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, don't say it's
I
middle of
know,
summer.
but it does. You kind of have second half of summer kind of has a little bit of a different vibe, and
Yeah. Okay.
so I don't know. I like it. It feels like kind of like a welcome rite of passage and like a moment every summer that I just love to stop and enjoy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I remembered mine.
Oh, great.
While you were saying yours. So, and this is something I think you have utilized in the past or still utilize too, but I'm very big on the digital to-do lists these days for work purposes. We planned our whole wedding on Trello and just love it. But I missed the kind of handwriting aspect of crossing something off of a list and writing it down. So, those ink and bolt
Yes.
dashboards. So I got one a few months ago. I wanted to wait and make sure I liked it before I shared it on What's Saving Your Life. However, I know I don't have mine with me.
I bet I do.
It's a paper spiral bound notebook. It's very cute. And it kind of it's each page is a week. You can kind of break out your week based on your goals.
Yeah.
Have different
Ink and
to-do lists.
You know what? I did this.
So
those
good.
favorite things that you do at Christmas time or whatever, where you have to bring something like multiples of your favorite thing.
Yes.
I did this as one of my favorite things this year.
It is so good. So
Can you see it?
y'all can see at the top, you can put like your general day-to-day calendar for that week up here. You can break down different categorized to-do lists, which is my love language. You have like daily trackers if you want to like track your workouts or water or whatever.
Yeah.
And just really love it.
I really, really like it too. And I love that it's spiral bound at
Yes.
the top. It makes me so happy.
And I like
Yeah.
that. So the way that I did it was I separated, this is only for my personal stuff. So I don't put anything work related on here. It's just for in the mornings and when I get home from work. And then my other work to-do list is digital.
See, I really like that.
I'm
I love that.
obsessed.
And this is it's inkandbolt.com. I know you can order
We'll
it
put
from
the
there.
little link in the
I
caption.
know I don't ever do them right, but just
Did you take the cover off?
maybe. It's hard
There's
for
a
me to
cute little
say,
cover.
Meg. It's hard for me to say. You guys, I know. It's because I throw everything around a lot.
Oh
Things
my
get
goodness.
ruined.
Hey, the point is that you have it. So that's great.
And I knew where it was.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I know.
All right. So
Okay.
from our blue stripes to yours. Hope
Happy
everyone
holiday
had a great
weekend.
Fourth. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.